Okay. Anyway, okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to our weekly hangout, and we have a good turnout. People are still logging in, so that's good. I'm giving you about another 8-9 minutes to get your team in, and then this room will be locked, and then we will start officially with Hugh Paul. So. And now, as you can see, there are some changes. Nobody can speak today. All your mics are muted. Only I have access to it. And also, I will give access to Hugh Paul. But he's giving his time up today to be with us and to give us some updates about the company, obviously about the AdPro 2, maybe give you some tips about training, how to move forward, about the commission structure. And then at the same time, what we'll do, we will have a Q&A as well. So we will open it up for you guys, but at the first half of the presentation and the meeting, you will have to obviously just listen and take notes. I would say obviously have a pen. That's what I said to you before on the WhatsApp. Get a pen, get a pad, make some notes. Very important to take this information because people are still asking questions which were answered a week ago on WhatsApp, or 2 weeks ago. So people are not reading the messages clearly on WhatsApp. And so this is very important. It's a serious business. FutureNet is a very, very, very lucrative opportunity for all of us. It's going through massive changes. The changes obviously have not been perfect for all of us, but the future is bright and you can make a lot of money, and we will make a lot of money if we treat this business seriously and as a opportunity for you and for your friends to change their lives. So we can't be serious. If you just treat it as a part-time hobby, then you will just get part-time money. But if you want serious money, guys, then this is the place to be. FutureNet is the place to be. So you're in good hands. Obviously, we're going through this difficult stage now, but don't worry. FutureNet is not running away. FutureNet is not closing down. They're just going through this change where they basically will kind of explode onto the social media, yeah. And I see they're prepping themselves up because they can see what's coming, yeah. And so they need to have the right technology, the right software, everything running, and that's what they're doing. And things will not be obviously perfect. With this transition period, it's still happening, as you can all probably worked out by now. So the AdPro 2 is working, but not fully 100%. The company have stated that as well. So they are aware of your issues. They are aware of your problems. They are getting emails every day. People are sending them messages. And they are in communication with the leaders, with the big leaders of FutureNet. So obviously we are raising our concerns on the groups. And the leaders know about these concerns, like, Marcus and Hugh Paul. And there's leaders across the whole world in other countries as well. They are talking to FutureNet. They're liaising with FutureNet, the directors. So they know about these issues and they are working with it. So that's very important, yeah? So they're not ignoring you. They are working on things. And I know things haven't been perfect. With the coin deal verification hasn't been perfect either. And it's going through. And mine's been verified. Mine took about 7 days. So the time I uploaded my passport and my driving license as proof of address, within 7 days it got approved off, and I've got now I've got full access to my CoinDeal account, and also now I managed to pair it up as well. I know some people had issues pairing their FutureNet with CoinDeal, but I did it first time. I followed the instructions. Letter to letter, word by word, and it went through straight. So I don't know, maybe sometimes obviously there's a glitch in the system, but keep trying, keep logging out and logging back in, follow the instructions. I'm sure you'll pair the account up. That's not a problem. So I've done that, and obviously you probably noticed that when you pair your account up, then it gives you access to more options on payout. Then gives you access, you can pay out through Bitcoin, through Ethereum, Litecoin, as well as Futuro Coin. So you have all these access to additional payments once your account has been verified. And obviously, we also know that the coin deal is not used in certain countries in the world, America, countries in Africa, and other places like Afghanistan. But we are aware, the company is aware of that as well, and they are dealing with it behind the scenes. I know you guys are worried, but don't be worried. They are dealing with it. You will have an additional payment process where you can access your commissions. Yeah, the future are not going to keep your commissions. you will have full right for your commissions, and you will have your commissions. That's not a problem. But again, you just need to be patient. Yeah, you need to be patient. So you will have your money, don't worry. And obviously with the 400 ad pack scenario as well, I'm sure he probably mentioned it today. It will give you examples. He's giving examples on WhatsApp as well, exactly what is happening. People are writing and trying to redeem their ad packs, which are less than 400. You can't redeem your commissions for less than 400 ad packs. There is a situation. There has to be a certain criteria for it. And if you meet that criteria, you can have your money back. Yeah, this is the company I said that. They are good people who are working behind the scenes, and they will honor your money if you have paid genuine money into ad packs. You bought ad packs recently, and you can prove it that you've paid additional money, like from Bitcoin or your own bank transfer, and you can prove that they'll give your money back to you. Yeah. So all these things are happening, and there's more products launching as well. New apps are launching, so there's a lot of things happening. So what I really want to do is obviously let Hugh Paul explain everything with the new updates, and then we'll do that. He'll do some training as well. So updates, training, and then we'll open up Q&A as well. So we've got about 3 things to do. We're looking to finish about 7 o'clock as well. So bear with us and do take notes.
Okay, thanks for that. Guys, we had a presentation earlier in the week, and we gave some updates, and Shaquille asked maybe if we could do that again and give people some clarity on what's happening and what's exciting about FutureNet. So a number of things are happening, and the core of what's happening has come down to the success of FutureNet. It has been a phenomenal success, and with that success has come serious challenges, serious growth issues, serious IT problems, serious customer support issues, and other items such as regulations. When you're shouting out about $1 billion company, that gets attention. And of course, it gets attention from many, many quarters, including government departments, country departments, tax authorities, because $1 billion company is a very, very, very serious company when you can do $1 billion in sales. And of course, the attention comes and it asks, what is it you're selling? What is it you do? How do you generate this money? And of course, we have to give the proper answers. Well, of course, when you're attracting big, big names in football, big, big names in sport, big, big names to do with the government departments, even including the United Nations, and when you're sponsoring and partnering up with these big items, they're asking big, big questions. And of course, the company has grown now. I can remember, I think I had my slides, it was like 1.8 million users. Now, that's just about 2 years ago, 1.8 million users. And I remember Stefan saying to me, he says, Paul, you keep talking about 1.8 million users. I mean, that was quite a while ago. And I go, well, what is the number? And he says that we've now 3 million users. So I changed my slides to 3 million users, and no sooner had I that done, he said, hey, why do you keep saying 3 million users? I said, well, you told me it was 3 million. He says, yeah, that was about 4 months ago. It's now 4 million users. I went, 4 million? So I changed the slides to 4 million. No sooner was that done, till it's over 5 million. So the massive, massive growth. And there are days when we have between 10 and 20,000 new customers joining the program. Now, that is serious. There are some companies out there that don't have 20,000 members at all. And we are doing up to 20,000 in one day, which is potentially 100,000 customers per week. So can you imagine in 10 weeks, there's another 1 million users. And with that came many, many challenges. And if the company didn't fine tune and tweak and sort the system out, we were going to have serious, serious problems when we hit 10 million users, 20 million users. So the company identified this growth 8 months ago, way at the beginning of last year, and they started to put in the work to create what we call microservices. It's the technology that FutureAd Pro particularly runs on. It allows it to have multiple users, multiple edits can be changed and twisted, and they can bolt in new features. They can host many, many, many advertisers and add new features. So they started putting the work into place. Now, companies like Netflix, and major companies like Uber use the same technology that FutureNet now have adopted. They've spent fortunes preparing that for the next session of growth, but they didn't realize they were going to have so many issues in the transfer of the data. And of course, we wanted to do it before the end of the year. We again wanted to do it and complete before the third week of January. And then we put the 31st of January out there, hoping that in that week, they would have all the updates. Well, of course, they're still not complete. The system is not as robust as we had hoped. And that's just disappointing. It's disappointing for the company. It's disappointing for the owners. It's disappointing for you, the users. It's disappointing for me. But we have to just put up with it until it becomes cool. And there will be a point very, very soon when I believe it'll be just so smooth that we'll not even remember the issues that we've had. Now, as I said, with the big numbers came lots of questions. And the company has grown to such a size that the owners realized they cannot handle a company of this size. $1 billion company with 300 plus employees takes somebody with a lot of skill, a lot of experience to develop an organization like that. And of course, then they introduced us to our new CEO, Mr. Giles. And Giles came along, and of course, he has a clear head. He had no prior experience of FutureNet. He was able to have a look at the data, have a look at the scenario, have a look at the situation and see, hey, I can see some problems here, because the owners were blind to it. The owners had moved from Poland to Dubai. And because they moved to Dubai, the Dubai government said, you must have offices here, you must do your banking here, you must have your license here, and you must live here. So the owners moved from the headquarters over to Dubai and set up a new infrastructure in Dubai. Now, of course, there are many reasons for moving to Dubai. Probably, I would suggest it's a very tax efficient place to operate $1 billion company out of, but also from a communication point between Asia and Europe, it made sense to be the central business hub as this company started to grow. Over 80% of the business is done from China and Korea, over 80% of the business. So all the challenges we have here in Europe and the rest of the world, we are nothing compared to where the business is coming from. We are a small part of FutureNet. And it's really strange that when we have challenges communicating, even with the owners and with the company, can you imagine how the Chinese business has grown with their language and customer support? It's just an amazing journey that this company has come on. And we're delighted that the company are taking it chin on. They're facing the tough music that they have to face right now. And they are so disappointed with the new software. But they do believe that very soon the programmers will get around it, and we're going to have nice smooth sailing going forward. Now, when Giles came in and had a look at the data, he wanted to see what type of customers we have, where is our database predominantly from, what are these customers spending money on the platform, where do we get the revenue from, is there much revenue from advertising, from subscriptions, from coffee shops, from Future Ad Pro, from digital products, from cryptocurrency. He came in to do an analysis to see, where does the $1 billion come from? Where is the revenues coming from? How can we best help our customers? How can we support our customers? And he was horrified to see that most of the advertisers on Ad Pro didn't advertise anything. He was absolutely shocked. He found out that people with 1,000 ad packs didn't advertise. They had so many credits in terms of views, because some of the packs had expired. They had accumulated so many views that if those views were placed on the system would clog up totally. It couldn't operate. The system was tough enough with those that did advertise. Can you imagine if everybody actually advertised, what would happen to the system? You just couldn't watch any advertisements if that was the case. So victims of their own success, victims of our own success, they had to create Ad Pro 2. They had to make changes. They had to edit it. Now, one of the first questions Giles wanted to know was, why do you have 1,000 ad packs? Where did you get this number 1,000 from? Why is it 1,000? Because you can get 800 views for $50. So for 1,000 ad packs, you can get 1,000 times 800 views. And of course, when he found out that less than 1% of the entire community had 1,000 packs, less than 1%. In fact, he found out that most customers had less than 100 ad packs. Now, I couldn't believe it. I said, less than 100? Yes, less than 100. Most of the users have less than 100 ad packs. So they went in there and they checked. I mean, I checked my own accounts. I could see, you know, apart from a few of my personal customers who had more than 400, most of my customers had 1 ad pack, 12 ad packs, 40 ad packs, 23 ad packs, 88. And I went down through the list and I went, wow, this is unbelievable. Even some of my leaders had only 40 ad packs. So I looked at my own ad packs and I said, wow, I had 137. And I said, why have I only 137? Why do I not have 1,000? And I realized that because in a growing business, when somebody wants to buy a voucher for, say, $500, I was creating a code. So instead of buying 10 ad packs, I was helping the community. I was helping the new customers. I was using my commission to get new customers on board, and therefore I couldn't accumulate up to 1,000 myself. So I kind of suffered. I should have had 1,000 myself to get the benefit, but the most I ever had was about 300. My average is less than 150 ad packs. So I could see that if that was me, yes, this Giles is telling us the truth here. Most people have less than 400 ad packs. So they come up with this number that 400 would be more than enough to allow people to achieve the maximum. And therefore, when you have 400 multiplied by 800 views, that's enough for any advertiser. If your ad packs went down, you could replace them and buy more. So that's the reason, number one reason is why did they drop it to 400 ad packs? Because most people had less than 100, only 1% had 1,000. They felt that 400 was plenty for most of the users. And you can go and check your own genealogy. I've spoke to my leaders. Somebody says, I have 9 people with more than 400. Another one of my leaders said they had 11 people with more than 400. And I said, 11 out of 7,000 people, you've only 11 with more than 400? Yes. So you'll probably find yourself that it's only the people with more than 400 had a concern. And how do we address them? Well, what the company is going to do is they're going to have 2 pools. They're going to have a ad pack pool up to 400. And anybody that has more than 400 ad packs, they're going to get paid separately. They're going to create, once this system stabilizes, you'll be able to get your packs beyond 400. If you don't, let's say you had 600 ad packs. Well, 400 is fine because that's going to work in the normal system, but the extra 200 will be paid separately in a new calculation system directly into your account. So nobody's going to lose any money. Now, then the company said, okay, what if somebody started, you know, this last 3 or 6 months, and maybe they bought 700 ad packs? Well, 700 ad packs is $35,000, okay? So if somebody bought that, and all of a sudden the company dropped a bombshell, you can only have 400, well, that's not fair on that customer because they bought 700, they only get the benefit of 400. So what could they do? This is if a customer like that had more than 400 ad packs, what they would do is they would give them the difference, or they could close down their account entirely. They could get 100% refund if they hadn't earned any money. So let's get that clear. Imagine someone bought 700 ad packs. The company turned around and said, you can only have 400. They said, if you hadn't earned any money, we'll give you back your 700 ad packs. Okay, so there will be a form available where those type of customers, if they want to go, that's fine. We close down their account. Anybody with less than 400 ad packs, well, then there is no problem. It's just the normal. You've bought advertising. You're going to get your advertising credits. Your ad packs will mature, and they will have a life within the system, and it's business as normal. The only other situation is for those people that have more than 400, maybe not 1,000, but more than 400 up to 1,000. The company will also sort all of those ad packs as well. So nobody's going to lose anything. People are a wee bit concerned because it didn't show up when AdPro went live. Now, we have a language problem because let's say Stefan suggests to the programmers, we want to do this and this and this. The programmer will write the software on what he believed he heard, on what he believed was what Stefan or Roman requested. Of course, when it went live, and everything's working nicely. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add in the, for the countries that cannot use cryptocurrency or CoinDeal, they're going to bolt back in some of the old systems, possibly NetTeller, Perfect Money. For countries like Iran and Iraq that have problems, parts of South Africa, where else has problems? Macedonia has challenges with cryptocurrency. So for those countries, we're going to bolt back in special situations. So that will all come very, very soon. The other thing that didn't happen when they wrote the software was the 10 generations. The software picked up on the old 5 and it didn't map across. So we've had a little bit of issue with the commissions down 10 generations, and that's going to be sorted very, very soon. In fact, they thought that would be sorted by the 31st of January. It still has not been updated, and we just have to allow time and the programmers to sort that out. It's not something you can flick a switch and everything's working fine. This is the real world of technology. You know, it's just like the power grid going down. It's just like your phone network going down. We have challenges and we have to get over those challenges if we want to move forward. Any other company would close up shop and run away. And we've seen that happen time and time and time again. You can be delighted you're in good hands with good owners, with good intentions. And that's what's important, that you have selected a very good company. Now, another challenge that came up was we've had companies copy us word for word, picture for picture, program for program, identical replicas of what we've done. And these people are setting up a company because they know we were going to go through challenges, so they want you to withdraw your money and put it into their company. Now, if you do that company and FutureNet finds out, they will close your account with FutureNet. So go and do the other company if you wish. We don't mind. You can do whatever company you want. But if you go to that company, and most of you know who I'm talking about, if you go there and FutureNet finds out you have an account there, your account will be closed here. So number one rule, you can do any business you want, any amount of businesses, but not that company that copied us letter for letter. Because we know what's going to happen. They're going to take all the money because of all the problems we're having, and then they're going to close the door and run away with your money. And you're going to lose your money, and then you're going to come back to us and says, I can't believe FutureNet's still here after 2012, 13, 2014, 2015, FutureNet are still here. 2016, FutureNet's still here. 2017, FutureNet is here. 2018, FutureNet is here. 2019, FutureNet's here. So if you want a long-term company with a long-term goal and a long-term project, you're with the right company. All the grass is greener on the other side. But those other companies will run into challenges that they won't be fit to handle. Many companies have had challenges and they've just closed the door and the party's over. That does not happen with FutureNet. And that's what you can be proud of. If things aren't so good right now, okay, put up with it because you're still in good hands. Go to another company. I know what's going to happen there. They're going to take the money and they're going to run. It's already happened many times. And some of our leaders have moved to those other companies. They're taking you away and their customers away. And I know what's going to happen there. We know already they have no coffee shops. They have no systems in place. It's just a copy. It's an IT copy with no backbone. And there's going to be trouble there, unfortunately. There was other companies like USI Tech. I mean, these are nonsense scams. Please don't get involved with them, guys. They just run away with your money. And it ruins good businesses like this. So we are having challenges, no doubt about that, but we're going to get over them, and that's what's important. We have a big enough company to get over them. It's going to be a little bit bumpy for the next few weeks, and then you're going to be delighted. Now, the first challenge we had was that the company also found out that there were many, many people, many users in the system that had more than one account. Now, some people say, oh, I didn't. Yes, maybe you didn't, but if your son had an account and your daughter had an account and your dog had an account and your goldfish had an account, we found one member with more than 50 accounts. One member with more than 50 accounts. 23 of those accounts had 1,000 ad packs. And they were getting 8% every day on themselves, plus 20% over the term. And they were milking the system. Then when they looked at those people that had, they found out the people that had 1,000 ad packs, their introducer had maybe 10 or 12 or 15 ad packs. and they found out that their introducer had the same IP address as the account that had the 1,000. So this account had very few ad packs. This account had lots of ad packs. And the software is that intelligent, it could see. Like, do you remember if you watched your ads at home and then you went to a hotel, that you got an email, it knew you moved. It could tell that you weren't here anymore, you've moved to here, so you had to respond to an email. So all the tracking software found out that many people watched their ads, and the example I gave before was, let's say you watched your ads at 8 o'clock at night. Well, funny enough, this account with the 800 ad packs or the 700 ad packs or the 400 ad packs, it watched its ads 5 or 10 minutes after this one did. And that was very strange, that if this was you and you had all these customers, why were these customers watching the ads 10 minutes after you? Did you ring them up and say, hey, I'm going to watch my ads now. As soon as I'm finished, you watch yours? No. What we found out was it was the same person that watched this for 10 ads and then logged out and logged into the next account below it from the same IP address and watched the ads again. Now, it's horrendous how many people did that. I know many of you, maybe everybody in this call didn't do it, but in a community of 5 million users, it was horrendous. And we found out that when you have 84111, the amount of accounts just in this area that never grew into these levels was phenomenal. You see, if the average person could only find 3 customers, you see, most people aren't salespeople. Most people are ordinary folk that have a job, that have a family. They're not salespeople. They're not going to get big customers. They're not going to get lots of customers. On average people are going to get 2 or 3 customers each. That's it. That's statistics. 2 or 3 is the maximum you're going to get. So let's say for the average people who got 2 or 3 customers, you were only going to get 8% on these 3 customers. And if these guys were average people, they were going to get 3 customers each. So now you have 12 customers, and 12% of the commission was coming to you out of these 12 customers. Now, what that did was it incentivized people to cheat. It was the wrong message, it was the wrong instruction, it was the wrong practice, because it was logical for people to say, well, why don't I take this 8% myself? Why don't I introduce my wife? Why don't I introduce my son? Why don't I introduce my best friend? And all of these accounts were not real advertising accounts, because none of them were advertising in the first place. And the second thing, the company was paying out 8%, and they were buying more, 8% more, so you're getting 8% per day. Not 20% in 4 months, 8% per day. And they found out that the people that did this never built a team. There was always a small amount of business being done. And of course, what the company wants is they want more customers, more genuine customers, more advertisers to help the community, to feed the cow rather than milk the cow. So what they decided to do was they realized that if you found 3 customers on average, and these average people found 3, if they found 3, and they found 3, and they found 3, in a 5 generations of commission, the maximum amount of customers average people would get paid on is 363 customers. Okay? So if you got 3 customers and they got 3, and everybody brought 3 customers, this is the statistics, that you are only ever going to get paid on 363 potential customers. Now, of course, if you do the same on a 10 generation model, 3, 9, 27, 81, 243. So it's the exact same, but here it's 729. Now 729 here alone is double the total customers. One more generation give you double the business. This is more than double all of that. And of course, 2187. Now these 2 gives you 3,000 customers potential, instead of 300 potential. This is 10 times better for the people that built the teams, for the people that brought the advertising, for the people that fed the cow, for the people that built the business. So they wanted to reward people that didn't want to recruit, just 50 becomes 60. You get your reward. You don't have to do this. But when those people were stepping in and taking 12% of the commission, it didn't make sense because nobody would work down here. No, it wouldn't make sense. It didn't make sense for me to fly to Nottingham to help people in level 9 because there was nothing there. It didn't help me to fly to London. Why? Because the customers were outside of my pay. So it didn't incentivize the builders. So, and it created a bad practice for non-builders. Okay, so they said, let's not reward people for doing nothing. Let's reward those that help build the community. So you have a choice. Don't tell anybody and just make money. Or if you're going to help build the community, then this is a better model for you and for everybody else. Trust me, it is, because once 3 7s is 21, 3 8s is 24, 3 6 are 18, 3 7s is 21, 3 8s is 24, and 2 is 26, 3 1s and 3 is 2, 5, 3 2s are 6. Now look at this here. You have 9,000 new customers that you've been able to tap into, when before the average would put you 300 customers instead of 9,000. 3 1s is 3, 3 6s are 18, 3 5s are 15, 1 16, 3 6s are 18, and 1's 19. Now you have 30,000 new customers that you can get paid if everyone bought an ad pack. And if we go 10 generations, 3 3s are 9, 3 8s are 24, 3 6s are 18, and 2 is 20, 3 9s is 27, and 2 is 29, 3 1s are 3, and 2 is 5. Now, and we know these numbers from the matrix, you have 8, 8, 5, 7, 2 potential customers inside your business. And if every one of these bought one ad pack, you would make $44,000. If everybody here bought one ad pack, you would make $150. Here you'd make $44,000 potential. And if all of these customers bought an ad pack tomorrow, you'd make $44,000 tomorrow. And if everybody bought another ad pack the next day, you'd make another $44,000 or portion thereof. I mean, if your organization was 10% of this, 10% of 88,000 is 8,000. So if 8,000 customers anywhere in your structure within 10 levels bought an ad pack, you made $4,000 that day. And if those 8,000 customers bought another ad pack the next day, you'd make another 4,000. Why? Because at 1% on 10 levels, you get 50 cents per ad pack. 50 cents, 50 cents, 50 cents on every ad pack. You see here, you were getting $4, then $2, then 50 cents, 50 cents, 50 cents. Nobody was interested in this. It created bad practice where the company wasn't growing. It was paying out more money potentially than was coming in. Here, if they incentivized the team builder to bring in more genuine customers and you got 50 cents on more ad packs, then this is going to be much rewarding for the people that jump in airplanes, the people that travel up the country, people that go and help educate the team. Because here, in its traditional business, it would only be benefit to help 300 people. Here, you can help everybody because the rewards are in it. So they made this change. I think it's a pretty good change. There's one friend of mine that it doesn't suit. I have a great guy in Dublin who built genuine customers on the 8%. He had lots of good customers. So I think that's called direct sales. When you're in direct sales, when you go customer, you're a direct sales. Those were the guys who are getting hurt. Direct sales people. Non-sales people, it doesn't affect them. If you're not selling, if you're not building the teams, if you're only turning 50 into 60, it doesn't affect you. You know, AdPro is the same. 50 becomes 60, 50 becomes 60. You don't need to find customers. That's still the same. So most of the customers, it doesn't matter. It does matter to direct sales people, but to the networkers, this is a network. It's not a direct sales opportunity. It's a network. So long term, this is much better. And I think it was John Paul Getty said, I would rather 1% of 100 people's effort than 100% of my own. So here, it's 100% of your own effort if you're only getting 8%, 8%, 8%. You don't care about the rest. This makes you care about the community, care about the team, care about the company, help the company grow. And of course, the rewards here is much, much more exciting. I think lots more people will make lots more money. You see, you just might introduce somebody who introduces somebody who introduces somebody who introduces somebody who introduces Marcus here. And if Marcus went and built your business on your 5th generation, you weren't making any money. Now, if Marcus brings in 30,000 customers, you're getting paid on these 30,000 customers because somebody found somebody who found somebody who found somebody who found somebody. And that's how FutureNet grew. FutureNet grew with 2 guys, Roman and Stefan. And they told somebody who 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 told you. And that's how it grows, and that's how it must be rewarded. So I think it's a great solution. I think there's going to be a lot more money earned, even for the direct sales guy, because if you have 20 people who find 20 people who find 20 people, now you've got 8,420 people if you're in the direct sales. But for average people who only ever find 3 customers, 3, 9, 27, 81, this is fantastic. You must also understand this. If you have 1 customer, you get paid 2 generations. 1 customer, 2 generations. So if you've only got 1 customer, you're only going to get paid on these 2 generations. If you get 2 customers, you're going to get paid on 4 generations. If you get 3 customers, you're going to get paid on 6 generations. If you get 4 customers, you're going to get paid on 8 generations. And if you bring us 5 customers, you're going to get paid on all 10 generations. Now, think about this. Imagine you only have 1 customer, yourself, and now you've 88,000 customers in your business who buy an ad pack every day. That's 44,000 a day. Tell me this, how long will it take you to find us 4 customers to qualify? If you're going to make 44,000 per day, how long will it take you to get these 4 customers? It will create action for reward. And that's what we need to do. We need to give reward for bringing new action. So I think everybody will qualify if you must qualify. And there's something here for everyone, okay? What else can I tell you? Yes. Before you paid $180 and that gave you access to these 5 generations. You remember? Status 5 give you 5 generations. Well, you can't do that. You can't charge somebody $180 and say, okay, if you give us $180, we'll give you 5 generations. You're not allowed to do that. That's why it has to be customer or performance based. Bring us a customer, we'll give you 2. Bring us another customer, we'll give you 4 levels. Bring us another customer, we'll give you 6. It's performance based, not financial based. I can't say, give me $180 and I'll give you 5 levels. You're not allowed to do that. So you can have up to 20 ad packs for free. No charge, no subscription, no status 1. Status 1, you don't have to pay anything. You can get paid on 20 ad packs. If you want more than 20 ad packs, then you must pay a fee for FutureNet to host these extra ad packs, okay? And if you want status 3, you can have more ad packs. And if you want more than 200 ad packs, up to 400, then you must be status 5. So that payment of your status up to $180 is for you having more ad packs, taking space on the servers. It's the servers that are hosting all the advertising that you're doing. That's what you're paying $180 for, not the 5 generations. The 5 generations are now related to your performance. Bring us a customer, we give you 2 levels. Another customer, 4. It's very fair, it's very accurate, and it's legally correct, okay? You see, the lawyers now have come in because governments and people are looking at FutureNet. They said, hey, what is it you're doing? What are you selling? How can you do $1 billion? We say, oh, we're doing a social media. Social media, that's free. How do you make $1 billion? Show me your advertisers. So if we were to show a government your advertisements for this last 6 months, they would be shocked that you didn't advertise. And that's why the company are making these changes, to make it better for you, to make it better for the company, to make it long-term, that a government doesn't come and close the door and say, hey, this is a load of nonsense, guys. What are you doing here? Yeah. So the company are doing this to make it a long-term, real business for you, for your children, for your children's children, that it is an honest business proposal. Last thing I want to say is stop selling investments. I hear people say, I invested this and I invested that. I wish I could invest in FutureNet. I wish I could say to Stefan, here, let me invest 10,000. Can you make me some money with that? Or can I have one share of your company? No. FutureNet has two owners. They are the only two investors. They invested their time and their money. I think Roman put in about €2 million to set this up way back in 2012. Yeah? So they were the investors. You're not an investor. They don't do investments. They are not licensed. You cannot sell investments. You can't use these calculators and start showing, 1% and 2%. You're not allowed to do that, okay? Now, regulations come into the insurance and pension worlds, very, very heavy regulations. It really, really upset life insurance business. It really, really upset the mortgage business because people and banks were saying to us, the bank said to us, give us £35 a month for the life of the mortgage, and when your mortgage is due to be paid off, we will have enough money there to pay your mortgage. That was financial advice. That was an investment you were making to pay off your mortgage, if that was the case. And the government came down very heavy on this, that you cannot sell investments unless you're licensed and regulated to do so. So you are not a licensed financial advisor. You cannot give financial advice. I can't give financial advice. FutureNet cannot give financial advice. We can't accept investments. We don't offer any investments. They offer advertising space on their platform. They charge 50 FND, which is $50 worth, and they give you 800 views of your website. And from that, you can sell products. Maybe you have a product, maybe you have another company, maybe you have a shop, maybe you own a hotel, a car wash. We don't know what you want to advertise. But you can advertise your business for 50 FND, and they will give you an invoice for that. They will put it up on the website, and now it's compulsory. You must place this advertisement within 7 days of buying an ad pack. So let's say you bought an ad pack tomorrow. What I would do is I would assign the views. Go in and assign the views to that ad pack. Don't leave it for a week. If you leave it for a week, there's going to be no benefit from watching the ads, okay? You must buy the ad pack, assign the views, and then qualify with your 10 to 20 views. If you have more than 200 ad packs, you need to do 20. If you have less, somewhere between 10 and 20 views, okay? So you can see that the regulations tightened up. The company are adhering to regulations. They're adhering to make this correct for you. So we have the right opportunity. We have the right business that will pay you well into the future. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the days that you can compound. So this is nothing to do with FutureNet, but this is to give you an understanding of compounding. And I'll kind of wrap FutureNet into it. So imagine you were buying $10,000 of advertising. Okay, you're buying $10,000 of advertising. You can do that with the newspaper, the radio. You can do it with Facebook. You can do it with Google. You can do it with the television. Okay, or you can do it with FutureNet. Okay, but imagine you're advertising $10,000. We know that gives you 200 ad packs. Okay, 200 ad packs. That's half of the maximum commissionable ad pack. But we know what that means. Everybody understands that. Now, if by your own free will you qualify for commissions, let me make this clear. If I get an ad pack with 800 views, how do I know anybody saw my ad pack? Okay, I paid $50. I got 800 views. How do I know who saw my ad pack? They could tell me anything. So what they do is they offer to the advertisers, they say, listen, you're advertising here with us by your own free will. If you choose to watch up to 20 ads yourself, what we'll do is we'll give you some commissions. We'll share in the profits that we make from many product sales that we do. We'll share some of the commissions with you. Why? Because you are validating a contract. So Hugh Paul paid $50. There you go, 50 FND. He got 800 views of his website, and if you looked at one of them, so you have a choice of 9, you click one of them, this goes to 799. So I can see somebody saw one of my advertisements. Then somebody else clicks on it, and it goes to 798. Somebody else clicks and it goes to 797. And this makes its way down to 0. So you, by watching an advertisement by your own free will, because you don't have to. We have people advertising who don't watch advertisements. We've also people advertising, paying for it and not advertising. So there's both sides of the coin there. But by the fact that you watched an advertisement, you're getting a commission because you're validating this contract that I paid $50 for 800 views, and you're saying, hey, I've seen one. Somebody else says, hey, I've seen one. And when you validate 20, up to 20 per day, this is what you're getting the commission for. You're not getting the commission for ad packs. You're getting commission for watching advertisements. That's the activity. And that's why it's not an investment. Because if you don't watch any advertisements, you don't get any money. You must do an activity to get paid. Now, if you understand that, right, what's actually happening here is if you watch advertisements, you know in a certain period of time that can happen. Okay, you can get commissions maximized at 12,000. What happens, of course, we have a mandatory 10% that goes to the digital products. So it's like saying, hey, you've just won 100,000. You've got to take a Mercedes-Benz for 10,000 and 90,000 of cash. That's the deal. You've just won 100,000. You've got to take a Mercedes-Benz worth 10,000 and there's 90,000 of cash. This is how our deal works. If you advertise and qualify, the maximum you can get is 12,000, but 10% on withdrawal will go to buy digital products. That's the deal. That's what they offer. Now, what can you do with this? Well, it's yours. You can do what you want. You can take it all out. Why? Because it's yours. What else can you do with it? Well, you could take out the profit. Yeah, and put another 10,000 into advertising if you needed more advertising. Yeah. Or what else could you do? Well, you could take out the 10,000 that you advertise with. Yeah. And just leave 2,000 to go again and do some more advertisement. So you have three choices. You can take it all out, you can take the principal, or you can take the profit. That's the three choices. Now, if you knew, liked, and trust our system, if you had something you wanted to advertise, what I would do is I would put 12,000 into advertising. Yeah, so I'm not withdrawing, I'm getting the maximum because I'm not making a withdrawal, okay? What I'll get here is I'll get 240 ad packs. Yeah, I'll get 800 views for every 50 FND that I've spent. And of course, in another period of time, that's going to go something like that. We all understand that as well. What can I do at this stage? Well, I can take all of it, and if I withdraw, 10% goes to digital products. Or I can take my profit, and I can advertise $10,000 more, or I can take my principal, my initial advertising budget, I can take that back and leave the 4,400. That's my choice, and that's your choice. Or if you like and trust our service, if you need more advertising, what you could do is you could do that. You could put this into advertising and you would get 288 ad packs. Okay, get more advertising, more customers, more benefit, more value. And of course, we know in a certain period of time, something like that might happen. Okay, now, if you look at this as a compounding exercise, it's one of the 8 wonders of the world. What you've actually done is you've bought a product, you've used the product because you must use the product, you must advertise, but you've got a reward. You've got a commission, you've got remuneration from the company for viewing up to 20 ads every day. Now you have $17,280. You don't have to go to any meetings, you don't have to listen to any webinars, you don't have to introduce any customers. All you must do is advertise and watch 10 to 20 ads per day, depending on the packs you have, okay? So that's incredible, so that hasn't changed. My question to you is, how many times did you compound here? And the answer is only on 2 occasions, here and here. So in this example, you didn't buy any ad packs, you didn't buy any ad packs, you didn't buy any ad packs, and when you got to here, then you went again. This is the first compound. And then you didn't buy any more ad packs this month or next month or the month after. You didn't buy any more. You had enough advertising. And then you compounded again. In this example, you've only compounded on 2 occasions. Let's call this hypothetically 12 months. In 1 year, you've only actually bought advertising 3 times. The first time, the second time, and the third time. That's 3 clicks of a button. And the potential here is 72.8%. That is phenomenal. Now, to answer the question, you can buy ad packs here, here, and here, 7, 17, and 27. So on these 3 dates, you can actually go and buy more ad packs on these 3 dates in January, let's say. In February, 7, 17, and 27, you can do it again. In March, on the 7th, 17, and 27, you can do it again. So the company is now only offering these points in time where you can compound for money that's already in the system, commission that you have received inside the system. If you want to compound, and if you do that, if you compound on these dates, and the same dates going through here, these 3 times per month, this figure gets much, much better than this. Much, much, much better. Now, if we take the average income, let's say the average income is 20,000 into your household. Half your average income put into advertising with a little bit of work, where are you going to get 7,280 in the next 12 months? Is your boss, is your employee, who's going to give you this kind of money for watching 10 or 20 ads a day? Probably nobody, right? So that is phenomenal if you only compound twice. The fact that you can compound 9 times in a quarter, and another 9 times, and another 9 times, this figure gets much, much better. In fact, if you want to compound every day, you must buy new ad packs. You can't use ad packs from remuneration or commission, okay? So if you wanted to buy an ad pack tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day, you can also do that. But you must click buy ad pack, go to CoinDeal and pay for it. So you must, if you like, introduce new sales, new business, if you want to compound and get that effect every day. Otherwise, from money inside the system that you've earned, you can only do it on these days. So they're actually slowing down the amount of compounding from money inside the system, but any new money that you want to advertise with, you can do it every day and get a massive effect the way we're used to. So I hope that makes sense.
Creating new ads are not running. Why some people have to verify account again when they already did recently waited 2 months for the account to be verified, and CoinDeal is not running in Pakistan. Yes, okay.
Okay, so what happened is that FutureNet was doing the verification, and of course they weren't set up to do it properly because they've only so many staff. They've customer service, they've IT, they've all the different departments, they've new projects. And when they made it mandatory to verify the accounts, because of the cheating we spoke about, this is why they did it, to make the long term, to protect the business. That's why they brought in verification, because you can't verify a goldfish. You know, a dog doesn't have a passport. You know, I can tell you this. There are people who took the maiden name of their spouse, went and paid for a passport to be made a false passport, and submitted that false passport in the wife's name. Yeah, this is what was going on. Now, what the verification, FutureNet is not a verification company, right? So they've done a deal with CoinDeal. Because it was taking 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get verified, because of the different languages, because of the poor documentation, because FutureNet didn't have the technology set up to do it faster, they did a deal with CoinDeal. And CoinDeal says, listen, we can do all that for you. We are regulated. We are an authorized crypto exchange. We can take that workload off you. You guys don't have to do that anymore. FutureNet, fantastic. We'll do a deal. And now CoinDeal are going to do the verification for us. So again, they're just bombarded with 5 million people moving over there. So that will all speed up presently. You know, as soon as we get over that backlog of what's gone in there, then, I mean, when I was with CoinDeal, I was verified same day. You know, some people are same day, next day. But just because they've taken on the new business for us to verification, it means FutureNet will be easier. It'll be easier on FutureNet, and CoinDeal have the right software, the right technology to do it faster for us going forward. There's another question there. Somebody says they've created codes in the old system. What I would do is I would send those codes back to support and say, you cannot use the old code. Please put the money back in your account. So let's say you made a $500 code. with even Matrix or somewhere else, and now it's not working anywhere. Just send it back to FutureNet and say, hey, I generated this code in the old system. I can no longer use it. Please, can you refund that code back into funds in my account? If you do that, they'll put the money back in and redeem those. Very soon, they're going to get the Ad Pro and the Matrix codes to work again. It's just the microservices doesn't see the old Ad Pro codes working. So that will all be fixed itself as well, you know?
Please clarify terminology, FND voucher and FND redemption.
Okay. FND stands for Future Net Dollar. Now, Future Net Dollar is not American dollar, it's not euro, it's not pound sterling, so it's nothing, is it? It's just a FND dollar. It's just an internal currency. And it has to be that for legal reasons. They can't be like a bank that has sterling in there or euro in there. So it has to be our currency, which is FND. So you're turning your sterling or your euro or your dollars into FutureNet dollars. So that's what you're doing. So inside, it's not a currency. Otherwise, they could say you're a bank or you're a financial investment, because we see pound sterling in here. We see euro in here. So because it's FND, it's not money. Does that make sense? But for us to understand, the value of an FND is always equal to the value of a US dollar. So if you see 10 FND, that's 10 US dollars. If you see 1,000 FND, that's 1,000 FN dollar. That's 1,000 US dollars. So it has the relationship, the translation, FND to USD, but internally we only see it as FND, a FutureNet dollar. Now, the second question was about redemption. What does that mean? Okay, if I buy you a meal for two, okay, I buy you a meal for two and I give you this, you go to the restaurant and you redeem the voucher for your food. So you go in, you say, can we have a table for two? By the way, we got a voucher for a present. No problem, we'll take that when we get the bill. You eat your food and then you redeem the voucher. Okay, so when you have a voucher, it's redeemed against the food. So here we're going to redeem it against Futuro, against money. So we want to redeem. So it's just legal terminology, redemption. Okay, so you're buying FND and you redeem that, if that makes sense.
Clear, yeah. How long is it transfer from AdPro to CoinDeal, and how much we may transfer maximum? What's happened to money in our old advertising account?
That will come back to you. So the new customers won't have an advertising account because that's gone. The new customers, the old customers will, a bit like the extra ad packs over 400, they're going to come in. So you're going to see that box appear. And those that advertising account, that's going to appear to the old customers. New customers, there is no advertising account. So they won't see it at all. It's only us old guys and girls that had an advertising account. That will come back into play.
What happens to those people who have FN account, but they don't have UK driving license or passport, but home office ID? How can they clarify the account with CoinDeal? So if they haven't got a passport, they haven't got UK driving license.
Are they in the UK?
You can use a government document as well. It says on CoinDeal, you can use a government approved document. So as long as I guess you got that.
Yeah, but you're not going to need CoinDeal in the future. If you're not, if it's a country where CoinDeal can't operate,
no,
then we're going to
UK. Go UK, I think.
Oh, it is UK. Okay.
Yeah, UK customer. Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. Listen. Some of the adjustments are silly and tough, but they will relax a lot of these and make them more sensible. It's just when they were redesigning, they said, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. And now they're seeing the effects of what they told the software guys to write, that it wasn't written properly, and there's certain things aren't right, and this doesn't make sense, and that's too awkward, and this is too slow. So when they see all of this coming together and all the problems and all the tickets, they'll start going, okay, we'll stop that. Okay, we'll change that back. Okay, we can do this. So really, it's like a galloping horse was galloping away. They put the reins on the horse. Whoa! They brought the horse back, and now they can say, okay, time to trot now again. Let's trot, let's canter, let's move forward again. So it's just like a oops, and then I think it'll become much easier going forward.
Obviously, there's a question regarding Pakistan, but I guess it applies to other countries as well. That there are many people living in the same family with the same address. How can they have, obviously?
Yeah, this is a challenge, and also I know some of my friends in Iraq have they don't even have a house number.
Yeah.
And on some of the and some other countries they don't even get a bill. So, for instance, the electricity guy, they call for the money. They don't even give you a bill. You just pay, you know.
He just turns up, yeah. You pay him
Very,
direct
very
cash.
difficult. So they are aware that those good markets that we need to look after will be, they'll work something more flexible for them, and use stuff like perfect money in some of those countries is better to use in those markets that